Welcome to the Elevating la Cultura Podcast, a space where I talk with Latinas who are passionate about what they do and are willing to share that passion with others to change the narrative, especially for the next generation. Each season is centered around different topics, but all with a Latina perspective. Welcome to Season 10, where I'm talking with Latinas who have founded nonprofits. I'm so excited to share these powerful conversations. So vámonos, and let's get into it. Bienvenidas to a new season. I'm Karina, host of Elevating la Cultura Podcast. I wrapped up Season 9 a few months ago, and at the end of the season, I announced the Elevating la Cultura rebrand. I worked with Ruby from episode 108 to design a beautiful new logo and brand story. So you'll be seeing a new look for this season. I know I usually schedule episodes for Tuesdays, and I still plan to moving forward, pero last weekend was the second Latina Brilliance Summit here in Chicago. My girl Giovanna and I were deep in planning mode and getting all the things ready for the event. And I didn't get the episode ready in time for Tuesday because I didn't realize how hard I would crash after the event. For real, I got home and immediately went to sleep. Pero así es, I'm going to keep it moving, and that's why I'm coming to you on Thursday this week. But moving forward, I will be seeing you on Tuesdays with new episodes. The Latina Brilliance Summit was once again an amazing time. If you missed it, stay tuned because we're planning more mini events coming up in the fall and even have the date for next year's summit. So stay tuned for some save the dates. Over the summer, we reached 7,500 downloads on the Elevating la Cultura podcast. I wish I had a confetti popper to celebrate that number. We are making our way to 10,000 downloads. Maybe it will happen this season. We'll see. I'll keep my fingers crossed. But if you're new to listening or haven't listened to the past 9 seasons, welcome. You can binge listen all the seasons or scroll through to see the topics you're interested in. Season 1 is featuring entrepreneurs. Season 2 highlights the health and wellness space. Season 3 with educators. Season 4 focused on artists and creators. Season 5 is a mini season where I share more of my personal story in the episodes. Season 6 highlights the food and culinary space. Season 7 showcases creatives. Season 8 showcases my corporate and higher education jefas. And Season 9, which we just wrapped a few months ago. Each season elevates different stories, but all with a Latina perspective. We all have passions in our areas of expertise while also pouring into the next generation. And I love to give amazing jefas the platform to share their stories, wisdom, and advice. When I was thinking about the topic for this season, I was inspired by my first guest of the season, which you will hear next week, the founder of a nonprofit ballet company that my daughter Elena is a part of. Did you know that less than 2 cents of the philanthropic dollar goes to Latino-led programming? According to a data report that I will link in the show notes, Black and Latino CEOs and EDs are especially underrepresented at the executive level. They're also more likely to lead the smallest organizations as measured by annual expenses rather than larger ones. I really appreciate the work that nonprofit organizations are doing and have supported the resources that have been available to my own family. My son learned to play golf through a nonprofit near our home called First Tee. We had a great experience with them over the last 2 summers. Like I mentioned, my daughter Elena has been part of a ballet company that is a 501c3 since she was just 4 years old. I'm also on the board of the Firehouse Dream that was founded by my good friend Jasmine Lopez. She was actually one of my first guests ever on the Elevating la Cultura podcast. It's actually through this role of being on the board that I've learned more about the ins and outs of how philanthropy works and the realities BIPOC-led organizations are grappling with. In the past year, I've met with some amazing Latinas who are founders and board members of nonprofit organizations. And let me tell you, since being on the board of a nonprofit, I know the hard work, dedication, stress, and passion it takes to secure funding and keep a growth trajectory going for the organization. Another statistic I can bring you is that less than 10% of Latinos are on nonprofit boards, while 70% of CEOs, executive directors, as well as 66% of board members identify as white. This is something to be aware of because our voices need to be represented across the board and at all levels of philanthropy in order for us to make sure that our communities are actually being supported and cared for. I have an amazing lineup of organizations to share with you this season and the stories of these jefas that are behind them. I'm so grateful for my listeners and the community. I can tell we're making changes for the next generation and for the support of our communities. Okay, amigos, thank you so much for listening. But before I leave you for the week, I wanted to announce to my podcast listeners first that the Showing Up Latina in Business 3-month mentorship is coming back. Doors are open and we are starting in October. This 3-month mentorship is designed exclusively for Latina business owners and leaders. Since being a business owner myself for the past 15 years now, and with the millions of pivots I've had to do in the past 8 years, I've found so much value in the people who I can bounce ideas off of, vent to, cheer me on through all the challenges and ups and downs, and also help me organize next steps in order to achieve my goals. As we prepare to end the year, I want to help you end it strong and prepare for a great 2025. If you're a first-gen entrepreneur, you know the struggle of doing all the things all the time and how it can be a little lonely trying to figure it out all alone. It can be overwhelming, which is getting in the way of faster growth. If you've been thinking it'd be great to have an accountability person or someone to bounce ideas off of and brainstorm next steps with, I'm your person. In addition to one-on-one monthly meetings, you'll also get the input of other jefas in our monthly group meetings. I'm seriously so proud of my 2023 and 2024 cohort members because I've seen their growth just skyrocket this year. You can go to elevatinglacultura.com/mentorship to get all the info. Okay, that's it for me today. Please rate and review this podcast so we can get more ears listening to these stories and continue elevating la cultura. You can also comment on our YouTube video if you're watching online. I always like to hear from people and how they resonate with the stories that I share. So please let me know. Send me a DM on our Instagram page at Elevating la Cultura and share with your own followers. All right, enjoy the rest of the day, afternoon, evening, whenever you're listening. Y nos vemos next week with our first guest of season 10. Bye.